Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to Raphaelsinsights. Welcome. I welcome you into the world of Soteric, the divine, the beautiful. Welcome. If you're new to this beautiful channel, welcome to this beautiful channel. And if you're not new, welcome back. Let me see. I have two different ones. I want to use the newer one. This one here is my product. It's just to harmonize the energies. I'm going to spray it to harmonize the energies in my space to make sure that none of the bad juju gets in here and on myself, so that none of the bad juju gets on me as well. And these products, you can purchase them on my TikTok shop or my Etsy. You can find me through Raphael's Insights, the name Raphael's Insights. And if you don't want to do that, go down in the description below. I leave a link, click it, and you'll see all my social medias and also where to purchase or to check out my shop. Other than that, you guys, let's get started. This video is going to be for Europe, actually. The video is actually for Europe. I do want to predict for Europe. I want to start predicting specifically for different countries. If there's something that I miss that's going on in Europe and that I don't know, let me know, or that you want me to talk about, let me know, so I can look it up, see what it is, and then I'll talk about it. But right now, what I did is I just looked at the energies connected to Europe and started having visions and started letting them show me stuff for Europe. And I'm going to give them to you. I'm going to give them to you, what I saw, what I feel. And this is more of like predictions for August and the coming weeks. So it can happen in August or it can happen in the weeks to come, okay? But other than that, let's get started right away. The first thing I want to tell you guys is that I am having visions of power outages. The sun and the moon tell me that there's going to be power outages in Europe. Hopefully not right now when there's extreme heat, but I would say prepare, because I do see power outages. In terms of visions for power outages, I've been seeing power outages in Latin America, in the United States, and now in Europe. I hadn't seen them for Europe. So definitely careful with power outages. I'm seeing an issue with power outages due to extreme temperatures, due to extreme weather, due to an explosion of due to an explosion. But I see power outages. That's one thing that I wanted to tell you guys. The other thing that I want to tell you guys is that the card of the moon and the card of the sun dominate, interestingly, in a very interesting way. The card of the sun tells me that the fires are going to continue in the month of August and the weeks to come. The sun is telling me that the sun is going to hold us hostage. The sun is going to continue to hold us hostage, and that this isn't just a one-year thing. Next year is going to be extremely hot once again, so we need to start preparing ourselves for the temperatures to continue to be record-breaking non-stop. This card here tells me in terms of Europe, this card here dominates more fires, extreme temperatures, and I also see that the volcanoes are going to start moving or start waking up. But I did have a vision that I did see like a volcanic eruption in Europe. I'm seeing a volcanic eruption in Europe. They say Italy, more like around Italy or in Europe, but I'm seeing a volcanic eruption. And the vision that I've been having is it's either going to be in Europe, in Latin America, or it's going to be in India, Indonesia, in terms of a strong volcanic eruption. So definitely something for us to keep in mind. If you live near a volcano that you know it can possibly be active, just have a plan, because Mother Nature is definitely very upset. The other thing that I see in terms of the card of the sun, actually I am seeing like solar storms, and it's going to be affecting communication. It's going to be affecting, and I'm seeing that either worldwide, or I'm seeing that it's like I'm seeing strong solar storms. So we're definitely going to start seeing more and more solar storms year by year as well. But I am seeing a solar storm this year affecting like communication, affecting the internet, affecting, let's just say, communication in general. The other thing that I see is with the card of the moon. The moon tells me that even though the sun is dominating in terms of heat, in terms of causing droughts, in terms of causing fires, in terms of holding us hostage, the moon is dominating in terms of, I am seeing a lot of water. I'm seeing floods. I'm seeing extreme weather in terms of water. I see a flood or just lots of water in the month of August. But it's interesting how it's happening all over the world. Droughts in one corner of the country, and intense rain, intense floods in the other, in terms of landslides. So definitely watch out. If you live in an area that's more wet, that's prone to floods, I'm seeing floods. I'm seeing extreme weather in terms of water. I see a lot of water coming, or a lot of water in the month of August in the coming weeks. The other thing that I was the other thing that I'm seeing is the card of the Ten of Swords tells me that we need to be aware of like terror attacks, people trying to take other people's lives. Of the energy of next month, which I'm in July right now. The energy of next month, August, is very aggressive. I'm seeing people being very angry, very upset. I see terror attacks. In my vision, I'm seeing a terror attack, and it could be in Europe, in a church, cathedral, in like a daycare, in a school, or in public. It can be in Europe, or it can be somewhere else. But I had a vision of that while I was looking at the energies of Europe. So I would say careful in terms of people are very crazy. The devil and the 72 demons are free. And I've said this multiple times. That's why the energies are so chaotic and we see so much evil in the world right now. But I do see terror attacks. The other thing that I'm seeing is that I see the death of someone who was in power, or someone who was in power in terms of political, governmental, or just in general in power. I'm seeing it. I think this is going to be an energy that's going to be dominating worldwide, because I'm seeing it in multiple different countries. And you know what I've noticed in terms of visions, in terms of things that happen, when it happens in one country, it happens in another country. So I do see the death of someone in power. In terms of the Pope, I see the Pope going back to the hospital. I see the Pope going back to the hospital. I see him having health issues. I see that we're going to have a new Pope. Either he's going to resign, he's going to pass away, or in general, we're going to have a new Pope within these next 3 years. That's what I'm seeing in terms of visions. Protests are going to continue in Europe. I see protests. I see more protests, actually, not just the ones that are going on. I see more protests, or I see that protests are going to continue in Europe as well. The one thing that I'm not liking is that I see tensions rising between countries, and in Europe, you're also one of them. Europe, I see tensions rising between countries. The energy of tensions, or potentially going to war, or just tensions between countries rising. It's something that I'm seeing. I've already told you guys that I had a vision that there's going to be another missile, and I told you on my other predictions. But since we're talking here, I see that another missile is going to go over, or it's going to land in Europe from either Russia, the Ukraine. But I see another issue in terms of missiles landing in Europe, in Poland. But I see a lot of tensions in these cards. You're telling me missiles being launched, or a situation involving missiles with Europe. Definitely, I'm not liking that energy either. I did have a vision of an explosion as well. I know there was explosions just recently, but I'm talking for the month of August. In the coming weeks, I see more explosions. I see a building exploding, or a house exploding, but I see an explosion, or a power plant, but I see an explosion in Europe, absolutely. Then I see an issue with a boat. I don't know why they're telling me. I don't know what's going on with boats. Lately, it seems like all boats are just like it. I see an issue with a boat. This card here, I see an issue with a boat. I see like I don't know. It's like there's going to be an issue with a boat, either a tragedy, an issue that causes problems worldwide. But I see an issue with a boat. I don't understand really what that is, or maybe even a submarine. But I'm seeing tensions in water, either due to conflicts, or just like a situation that's going to affect worldwide. But I'm seeing an issue with a boat. I'll give it to you guys in that way. I do see like a crisis in terms of the economy. I still see a lot of uncertainty in terms of the economy. The economy still comes up a little bit uncertain for me, in terms of what I was seeing in terms of the economy getting better. I see it in Europe, like still very uncertain. But other than that, you guys, I think that's it. And I do see an earthquake. I see an earthquake, or earthquakes, due to when it's so hot, the sun tends to heat up the plates, and it causes earthquakes. And I do see an earthquake in August, or in the coming weeks, in Europe or near Europe. Absolutely, I'm seeing earthquakes. But other than that, you guys, it was an absolute pleasure. It was an absolute pleasure to be able to do this for you. Again, if you guys can please help me with like prediction fulfilled by letting me know when a prediction came true, if something happened, please, please let me know. Let me know if like if something came true, because sometimes I'm so busy, or sometimes my mind is elsewhere, that I don't see the news, or I don't see that things are happening, or I just forget that I predicted something, and I tend to just miss it. But I will say that that if you guys help me, it'll be a great help. But thank you guys so much for everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up. And it's always a pleasure to be able to bring you guys predictions. I hope you guys enjoy these new, more like specific predictions for specific countries. And it's an absolute pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure to be able to do this. And I hope my warnings help you guys out to prevent tragedies, to prevent things, because that's what they're for. They're meant to prevent. That's why they give me visions of tragedies, of things that are going to happen, because it's meant to prevent. But you guys have a great day, and it's always a pleasure to do this. Bye-bye.